Hey Math 10Cs, today we're going to look at multiplying difficult polynomials, or a binomial times a trinomial, or the product of three binomials. So that's what we're going to look at today. Alright, so example 1, a rectangle has a length of 5x plus 2 and a width of x squared plus 2x plus 1. Determine the area of the rectangle by completing each of the following solutions. Length times width. Well, the length is 5x plus 2. The width is x squared plus 2x plus 1. All right, so let's use a diagram and multiply this out. So our length is 5x plus 2 and our width is x squared, 2x, and 1. So use this table to do that. X squared times 5x squared is 5x cubed. X squared times 2x is 10x squared, and x squared times 1 is 5x. And 2 times x squared is 2x squared. 2 times 2x is 4x, and 2 times 1 is 2. So combine like terms. I've only got one set of x cubes. I've got 10x squared and 2x squared is 12x squared. I've got 5x and 4x is 9x, and a positive 2. All right. We should get the same answer if we use the distributive property. So I'm going to make sure every term in the first bracket is multiplied every term in the second bracket. So 5x times x squared is 5x cubed. 5x times 2x is 10x squared. And 5x times 1 is a positive 5x. Do the same thing with the 2 now. 2 times x squared is a positive 2x squared. 2 times 2x, a plus 4x. And 2 times 1 is a plus 2. And now combine like terms. So 5x cubed, add 10x squared and 2x squared is plus 12x squared. 5x is plus 4x is a plus 9x. And we've got the plus 2. So it doesn't matter which method you use, you should get the same product. Expand and simplify the following. So x squared minus 4 times 2x cubed plus x minus 5. If you use the distributive property, you just make sure every term in the first bracket gets multiplied every term in the second bracket. So x squared times 2x cubed is 2x to the 5th. X squared times x is a positive x cubed. And x squared times a minus 5 is a minus 5x squared. Now do the same thing with the negative 4. Negative 4 times 2x cubed is a minus 8x cubed. Negative 4 times x is a minus 4x. And negative 4 times a negative 5 is a plus 20. And now we combine like terms. So I got 2x to the 5th. I've got 1x cubed minus 8x cubed is a minus 7x cubed. I have no other x squareds, so minus 5x squared, no other x's, and no other constant terms. So in that case, we end up with a 5-term expression, or a 5-term polynomial. All right. Let's try the same thing for part B. Make sure every term in the first binomial or trinomial gets multiplied by every term in the second binomial. So we're just going to use the distributive property over and over. So 2y squared times y is a 2y cubed. 2y squared times a minus 6 is a minus 12y squared. Take our negative 3y and multiply it to y, and you get a minus 3y squared. And negative 3y times negative 6 is a plus 18y. And finally, negative 7 times y is a minus 7y. And negative 7 times 6 is a minus 42. We're done multiplying. Now we just have to combine like terms. So I've only got one set of y cubes, 2y cubed. Negative 12y squared minus 3y squared combines to negative 15y squared. 18y positive and 7y negative gives us a plus 11y. And I've got my minus 42 at the end. So that time I end up with a 4-term expression. All right, let's look at example 3. Expand and simplify this. So I've got a monomial times a binomial times a trinomial. I'm going to subtract the multiplication of two binomials, which happen to be conjugate binomials. So they're going to give us something a little special. Now we said when I'm multiplying 3 terms, it doesn't matter the order of multiplication. So I'm going to suggest we leave the 4 out front. And multiply the binomial by the trinomial. So a times a squared is a cubed. A times a negative 3a is a minus 3a squared. And a times a minus 6 is a minus 6a. Now multiply through by the negative 4. So negative 4 times a squared is a minus 4a squared. Negative 4 times a negative 3a is a positive 12a. And negative 4 times a negative 6 is a positive 24. So I've expanded the binomial by the trinomial. We're going to subtract from that and keep our brackets. 4a times 4a is 16a squared, and 4a times a positive 3 is a plus 12a, and a negative 3 times 4a is a minus 12a, and a negative 3 times a positive 3 is a minus 9. So that might be my very first step. My next step would be to combine like terms inside the brackets. So I've only got one set of a cubes. I got a negative 3a minus 4a is a minus, 3a squared minus 4a squared is a negative 7a squared. I've got negative 6a plus 12a is a plus 6a, and I've got a positive 24. In the second bracket, we've expanded conjugate binomials before. We notice that the two middle terms are opposite, so they will reduce to 0. So I've got 16a squared minus 9. All right. Now I want to go ahead and multiply through by the 4 in the first bracket. So 4 times a cubed, 4 times negative 7a squared, 4 times 6a, and 4 times 24. And in the second bracket, I'm going to multiply through by the negative 1. So I get minus 16a squared and positive 9. Negative times a negative is a positive. And finally, I want to collect like terms. So I only have one set of a cubes, so I've got 4a cubed. I got negative 28a squared minus 16a squared. That's a negative 44a squared. 24 a's, only one set of those. And combine our constant terms, 96 plus 9 is 105. All right. Great, let's move on to the next example. Product of three binomials. So in this section, we're going to extend the multiplication of binomials to consider three factors. This leads to the applications involving volume of a rectangular prism. So consider the rectangular prism shown. Write an expression which represents the volume. So we know the formula for the volume of a rectangular prism is length times width times height. So the volume of this rectangular prism should be the length, x plus 1, multiplied by the width, x plus 2, multiplied by the height, x plus 5. And they're all in centimeters, so a centimeter times a centimeter times a centimeter will give me a centimeter cubed. Expand the expression and write the volume in the form given. So again, I can expand any polynomials I want in any order. So I'm going to keep the x plus 1, and I expand x plus 2 times x plus 5. So x times x is x squared, x times 5 is 5x, 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times 5 is 10. Combine like terms in that second bracket, and I've got x squared plus 5x plus 2x is 7x plus 10. And now I'm going to multiply through by the x plus 1. So x times x squared is x cubed, x times 7x is a positive 7x squared, and x times 10 is 10x. And multiply through by the 1. So 1 times x squared, 1 times 7x, and 1 times 10. And combine all the like terms. I've got one set of x cubes. 7x squared plus 1x squared is 8x squareds. 10x's plus 7x's is 17x's plus 10. And remember, these are all centimeters cubed. All right. So example 5, expand and simplify the following. If I have a close look at this, it's x minus 3 times x plus 4 times 2x minus 1. So it's the same question. They're just saying the order of multiplication we're going to do differently. And I've already mentioned to you guys a number of times that the order of multiplication doesn't matter. So comment on the results to A and B. Well, the answers should be the same. So the answers are the same, and it doesn't matter which way you choose to multiply these. Well, so let's say I multiply the first two together, x minus 3 times x plus 4. So I get x squared plus 4x minus 3x minus 12 multiplied by 2x minus 1. Simplify this bracket, I get x squared plus x minus 12. 4x minus 3x is plus x. Multiply that by 2x minus 1. So expand that out. X squared times 2x is 2x cubed. X squared times a minus 1 is a minus x squared. X times 2x, a plus 2x squared, and x times 1 is a minus x. And then negative 12 times 2x, a minus 24x. And negative 12 times negative 1 is a plus 12. So combine the like terms, 2x cubed. Negative x squared plus 2x squared is a plus x squared. Negative x minus 24x, a minus 25x. And I've got a plus 12. Great. Let's see if we get the same thing in part B. All right. So multiply the first two terms together. 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times a minus 3 is a minus 6x. Negative 1 times x, a minus x, and negative 1 times 3 is a plus 3. That's all multiplied by x plus 4. So combine like terms, 2x squared minus 7x plus 3 multiplied by x plus 4. And now expand that out. So 2x squared times x is a 2x cubed. 2x squared times 4 is 8x squared. Negative 7x times x, a minus 7x squared. Negative 7x times 4 is a minus 28x. 3 times x, a plus 3x. And 3 times 4 is a plus 12. And combine like terms. Well, I've only got one set of x cubes. 8x squared minus 7x squared is a plus x squared. Negative 28x plus 3x, a minus 25x. And I've got my plus 12. Yes, they are the same. And they should be, because order of multiplication does not matter. Right on. You guys have your assignment. Let's get after it.